What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back with another video for you guys, and today is Unpopular Opinion Day. We sent out the tweet yesterday. Well, I don't know when you're watching this video, but we sent out a tweet getting everyone's unpopular opinions. This is one of my favourite videos to do. I love all the weird and wacky opinions all the Tottenham fan base have to offer, and joining me today is the one and only Brian Daigle. How are we doing, Brian?
I'm doing good, but a popular opinion is I am ecstatic.
Aren't you the king of unpopular opinions?
Oh my God, I've sent videos into this, I've sent you voice notes, I've sent you tweets, and I've always, like you said, loved this show, and it's the one show that you've done that I haven't been a part of. Well,
if anyone knows an unpopular opinion, it's Brian Daigle. That's for sure.
That's a good point.
So, are you ready? Are you ready to get into these opinions? You haven't seen any of these, have
I've seen none of them. I had a little look yesterday when you put it out, and you said we got 50, or you got 50 in about 10 minutes.
Well, make that 245.
Yeah, so I've seen them, but I purposely haven't looked at them, so this is all fresh to me.
All right, Brian's going to a blind. I've liked a few, so let's see how we go. And the first tweet we're going to go is from Mo Eraza 3. He says, Bale on a free is exactly what Tottenham needs to get over the line to match the talent of Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea. You give him 25 to 30-minute cameos until the World Cup, then after he'll return the favour by giving Tottenham his all for the remainder of the season. Do you think Bale on a free is the one that we need? Just for cameos?
Yeah, but we're not going to sign Bale. I don't think Bale sees himself as a cameo player anymore. I think he still sees himself as a 90-minute player. If Bale would agree to come as a cameo, then yes. But when you look at his wages and everything, I just can't see it. So I think Gareth Bale back for cameos is an unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I like Bale. I still think he's got a lot to give. I just feel like, and even for Wales, he does very well.
Yep.
But at 33 years of age, the wage he commands, and also how his off the ball work rate and stuff like that. I don't know if it's working anymore, especially when we have Son and Kane already up front. I know they were brilliant together in that season under Mourinho, but under Conte, I think it could probably work, but I don't think it's the improvement that would justify bringing him back that we need. I think we need him more. If we're going to bring in, we need a younger player to bring in, not a 33-year-old.
Just one thing I wanted to come to it is that, as we heard from, I can't remember which Spurs player, but said, I think it was Joe Hart, wasn't it, that said under Mourinho, Bale training was very, very...
Yeah, he doesn't
casual and blasé,
and he saves himself for the games.
Yeah,
basically.
And I don't think that's going to wash with Antonio Conte. I don't think it's going to wash.
Probably not. But then again, Bale's that good. It's like Ledley King, he didn't have to train, but he was that good that he just started every week. Maybe is Bale in that category potentially?
Maybe.
Next tweet we have is from Paratici, our best signing. His unpopular opinion: sell Doherty and keep Emerson. Emerson is young, is able to learn, and I trust Conte to mould him into what he wants his right back to be. He has already improved by leaps and bounds in a few short months. Doherty may never recover from his knee injury. I think I would say the consensus at the moment would probably be to keep Doherty and sell Emerson. That's where we seem to be going with the Atletico interest in Emerson. Who would you rather see leave out of the two?
Do you know what was the person who sent this tweet?
Tottenham till I die, THFC.
Tottenham till I die, THFC. So yeah, do you know what? I can see where he's coming from. I can see where he's coming with the age on his side, and it's a very, very big point about we don't know what's coming back from a knee injury. We know these players. This is a horrific injury where we don't know how he's going to come back. But I just think for the wing back that we are blatantly going to be playing, he is ready-made and knows the job better. So I can see where this guy's coming from, but I am going to stick on the side of Doherty.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I see his point because Doherty with his injury, do we know how long it will take him to get back? But for me, I think the fact that he's returning from injury in pre-season rather than mid-season, that does make a big difference because Conte can specifically concentrate on getting Doherty back to where he needs to be. Whereas when it's mid-season, he's got other stuff to think about, games coming up. He's got other, it's a distraction. Like he can't fully give Doherty the time he needs to get back to his best. Whereas now, if he's come back in pre-season, hopefully by the start of the season, he can be where he needs to be. That's the hope. And if he is playing as well as he was in those few games, then I think he's more than good enough to be one of our options at right wing back. Yep. Emerson, to be fair to him, did a great shift at the end of the season. I just still have concerns. Even in those great performances, I don't think he was as good as Doherty was from an attacking point of view. So I probably would still edge Doherty, though Emerson is 8 years younger and his fee might go up, whereas Doherty's fee is probably at his highest point now. So from that point of view, you might say let Doherty go, but I do think Doherty suits us more right now.
Yep.
Next tweet is from THFC 71 points. He says, I do not want us to sign Eriksen. He may still be a decent player, but I feel that his time ended when he forced himself out of the club. Still like him, but I don't think he should return to Spurs. He still holds Eriksen's exit against him, I guess. Is that fair?
So obviously I felt excuse me, I felt exactly the same as him, or this person, I say. It's taken me a long time to say, and only after Basuma was signed, sealed, delivered, was I like, okay, Eriksen makes sense. I am kind of with him. I'm open to Eriksen coming back, but I'm kind of with him with this one. But if he comes in, like I said, I'm not going to be disappointed. I think we can get other players in, but I can completely see where the person that sent this tweet is coming from.
I understand, but for me, it's water under the bridge for me. I think that I think I can completely understand where Eriksen was coming from when he wanted to leave back when he did. He saw things were going wrong, and he was 100% right. Where have we been since he left? Nowhere, up until Conte came in November. Harry Kane felt the same way. I'm sure probably a few other players felt the same way as he did. He wanted to try a new challenge, and fair enough, he went and won the league into Milan, and it worked out for him. But I think now, if he was to come back, he comes back to a different Tottenham, and Tottenham moving in the right direction under a manager who he's played for before, under having had a whole season in the stadium, more cash getting injected, maybe more ambition, hopefully. So I think it would be some renewed motivation for Eriksen if he comes back to Spurs, and I don't think it's the same situation as when he left. So I wouldn't hold it against him, but each to their own. Next up, Ariane. Big up to Ariane at Ben Davis FC says, I strongly don't want Raphinha, and I think us going so strong for a left centre-back starter and getting Spence as a right wing-back is a little goofy. We should be going for a world-class wing-back and getting a backup for Ben Davis. Should we, if you were, say I gave you 50 million and I'm saying you can either spend that 50 million on getting an upgrade for Ben Davis, or you could spend that 50 million on getting an upgrade for a right wing back. What are you choosing?
Upgrade for a right wing back.
Yeah, so you kind of agree with Ariane.
I kind of agree with him. Where I don't agree with Ariane, and funnily enough, he had to get a Ben Davis quote in there.
Of course he did.
I think the way we can describe it, I am a fan of Davies. I'm one that has not gone in on him. I've thought sometimes his performance has been poor, but I've not been Davies out the door. I think where Ariane has, I would say I disagree with Ariane with it, is I don't think the word is backup. I think we need competition. We need we need a because Ben Davies can't play 38 games next season, correct, plus Champions League, plus whatever. So it's not so much backup, it's a serious competition for him. And obviously I wanted Bastoni, which looks like it's not happening, but the main source that we need to sort out is sorting out that position that has not been sorted since Kyle Walker. So I would spend it on a right wing back. And
I also feel like when it comes to the that position, I feel like it's harder to get a good wing back than it is to get a good centre back to play that position. Because if you think about the options we have at centre back, we have obviously Bastoni and Gvardiol. They're not looking to come there. You've got Pau Torres, you've got Ndika, you've got Lenglet, you've got all these options. The guy from Leverkusen. You've got a lot of options you can pick and choose from to sign even if you couldn't get your top target. Whereas at wing back, it's like you got Spence. Who else? Hakimi's big money. I mean, it's a lot harder. The pool's a lot smaller. So if you can get one for a bit of, that's an upgrade. I think you best take it. So that's why I would also agree. I'd rather spend big on a wing back because they're less attainable, so harder to get. But left centre back's also a big role in Conte's team, as much as Ben Davies is doing great there.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will add, if you look at this, and big shout out to Irish Hotspur Dave, because I use this all the time and I always credit him with it. If you look at what we've done at right back since Kyle Walker left, yes, we had Trippier already there, Aurier, Doherty, Emerson, and we spent over that 50 million. Now, during that cycle, I'm sure there was a right wing back or a right back at the time, because we were playing at about 4, that we could have spent the 50 million on, that could have been there and said, right, that's right back sorted. We have tried to do this, and every single person we've had since Walker gone has been a downgrade on the next player. There's not been a solitary upgrade, and nowhere near Carl Walker's heights that he hit for us. So this has become a problem position for us. And the way you solve it is either finding a very, very good youngster and doing your due diligence, which may be Jed Spence, maybe, or you say, right, we need to sort this area out and plug the gap, and then you spend big and get it sorted. So I think this is what we have to do with right wing back.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. We need to make sure that we get it right this time. And I strongly don't want Raphinha. That's a big statement as well from Ari. And that's definitely an unpopular opinion, seeing as he's very much wanted a lot he's definitely very much wanted. Next opinion is from Aaron Hanlon. He says, don't send Tanguy out on loan. Instead, force him to make a decision about what kind of career he wants by bringing him back for pre-season from hell and keeping him on the bench until he earns time. Shut down the idea of a move for him. See what happens. See what he does next. Would you, if it's not likely to we get anything for Ndombele, would you be open to saying, look, you're staying and it's up to you to fight for your place?
No. The only reason I'm saying this is, if you watch interviews with him, so this is words out of his mouth, he even said after the Pochettino pre-season, during that he wanted to leave. He was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And he had those feelings. So just think what he's going to do under a Conte. And it's not just under a Conte. We know how negative his impact was around the club, and also how he did his walking off against Morecambe in the FA Cup, which was the bottom line for me. That was the final nail in the coffin. You bring him back in pre-season, he's probably not going to be able to keep up with Conte's demands. The negativity will come out, and then the poison starts seeping through the club. So, yeah, I just don't want him back in any size, shape or form.
For me, as much I like Ndombele, and I like the idea, as in terms of what we need, I mean, he's definitely a player, creative passing wise, that we could do with, but unfortunately he just can't seem to get on the right side of any manager who's ever managed us. Literally every manager has a problem with him, and from that point of view, I don't see that. If it's now been 3 years, is there any point keeping him around? I mean, are we flogging a dead horse at this point, trying to get him back in the team? How many times have we done this with Ndombele? It's like countless of times. Out the team, he has to earn his way back, and then he goes off again, and he can't either keep his place, or it's just never a cycle that seems to end in a positive way. And we've done this cycle 100 times. So for me, I think it's just time to let go, even if it's take a massive hit. You do what you got to do. But having said that, if somehow, some way, we do, Ndombele does knuckle down and decide, look, I ain't going anywhere. I'm just going to try and make the best of this situation. With his quality, I'm open to maybe him getting I would say second chance. It's more like 100th chance. But if you're asking personally what I'd rather just let him go.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I will say, I can't remember if it was you, Simeon. I can't remember if it was you, but I was speaking to someone recently, and they said they've got a few friends that watch the French league religiously, and some of them do live in France. And he even said, you know what, when you're looking at Tanguy and Ndombele, even when he was at Lyon before we bought him, he only had those 5 or 6 great games in the Champions League where you see him on the big stage. But the rest of the time, he reverts back to type like he has done on loan at Lyon.
That's what Lyon fans say. He struggled against middle to lower clubs, and actually in the big games he would always turn up. Like for Spurs against Man City, he's always brilliant against Man City.
Exactly. So that big concern. If he was doing that at Lyon before we signed him, and then he was doing that when we had him, and then he went back to doing that at Lyon. We say a leopard can't change his spots. Well, this is a prime example of what manager is going to get through to him. Could Conte? Maybe. Are you willing to roll the dice?
He's tried already, hasn't he? He's already tried Conte once. Maybe he'll try again. We'll have to see. Well, look, that's it for episode 1 of Unpopular Opinions. Tune in because there is more to come. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Brian, you ready for some more Unpopular Opinions?
Oh, mate, we're just getting started. This is the appetizer.
Exactly.
I can't wait to have the rest of the meal.
All right, nice one, guys. Thanks for joining us again. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.